I just got back from a week-long vacation where I didn't play any Splatoon, and I am rusty. I know I rust a lot faster than a lot of my peers do. For a lot of people, a week away from the game wouldn't have this bad of an effect on them, but for me it does feel really, really bad. Part of it, I think, is that Splatoon is a game that is very... Personally, I think Splatoon is a game that is very susceptible to rust. And part of that is because I am a lot better at Splatoon than I am at other games. So I just play at a higher level, so like being slightly worse feels worse, it's more noticeable. But I also think that Splatoon is just like that, because of how tight its margin of error is. Weapons in this game kill fast. Like, it's usually between 20 and 30 frames. And human reaction speed is about like 15 frames. At least that's my understanding. And like very generally speaking, of course it varies a lot. So if you factor in that, and then also like the physical time it takes for you to do something about somebody shooting you, like move out of the way or whatever, usually dying in this game is unreactable. Often dying in this game is unreactable. And so that kind of just means that thinking is too slow. You need to be playing proactively off of what your instincts tell you to do instead of reactively off of what you see. I mean, obviously you're playing reactively too, but you don't have time to think. And so when I haven't played the game in a while, and my pattern recognition and muscle memory is a little bit unpracticed, unsharpened, I just noticed I struggle a lot. It also hits my aim a lot because I've been playing a handful of games, so my aim is a little bit better now than it was when I first got back. But I am still like under flicking quite a bit. So part of it is the rust hitting my aim is that my hands are less in tune with how far they need to move my reticle to where I want it to go, as opposed to when I'm playing every day. But part of it also is that aim in Splatoon is very predictive. Splatoon is projectiles, not hit scan, like other games. Hit scan, just in case you don't know, hit scan is when I press in the shoot button, if they're in my reticle, they instantly get hit, they take the damage. This is games like Valorant, CSGO, a lot of other shooters tend to be hit scan. Splatoon is projectiles, and that means that when I hit the shoot button, I shoot out a projectile, an object that moves through space in the line according to some equation. And if that object comes into contact with an opponent, then congrats, I've hit them. But moving through space takes time, right? So enemies can move out of the way. You have to account for enemy movement. And especially in a game like Splatoon, where people move quite quickly, and most notably, people can change their movement at a moment's notice. You just have to be very predictive in your aim. Often, like, you'll watch like people with God aim, Lobster, Shuma, Chocopero, Melon, like the main four that come to my mind. And you'll see them miss wildly. And a lot of the time, I would wager most of the time when they do that, it's not that their wrists move their reticle to somewhere different than where their brain said to. It's just that where their brain said to move their reticle wasn't where the opponents ended up being. Like, they made a guess, and the guess was incorrect. So a lot of the time bad aim is literally like bad wrist, or like bad reticle management, whatever. Like, you're just not shooting where you intend to be shooting. But a lot of the time, it's bad pattern recognition, bad muscle memory, bad guesses about where the opponents are moving. So I find that rust is I find that Rust is bad for my aim because I'm literally able to control my reticle worse, but also my pattern recognition is a little bit sloppy. And so I'm just like not aiming at people properly. This game is an exception, by the way. I'm quite happy with how I'm performing mechanically this game. But yeah, so Rust is rough. And aim is really important for positioning. And I don't super know how to explain this concept without like going really nitty-gritty into like abstractions and numbers and whatever. So I'm going to do that, and I hope you're into that kind of thing. So one way you could think about fighting, or like what is a fight in Splatoon? Very abstractly, it's a race to see who can do 100 damage to the other person first. Obviously, the weapon you play is going to play a very big impact on this. If I'm melee range with a Dapples and I'm on pro, they're just going to kill me faster than I can kill them. Oh my god. If I am melee range with like a shot and I'm a pro, they're just going to kill me faster than I'm going to kill them. So that's like one aspect to the DPS race that you can think of fights as. Another aspect, of course, is range, right? So if I'm at my max range versus a splatter shot, their time to kill is not just how long it takes for them to get 3 shots out. It's also how long does it take for them to get in range to actually hit me. And if you account for that, then I'm going to kill them before they can kill me. That's why things like, like blasters with AoE, right? Like, even if a blaster is close to me, if they're behind cover, it's the time it takes for me to swing the corner and hit them 3 times versus the time it takes for them to hit me twice. Another thing is flick speed, and this is a really, I'm not going to talk about this for very long, but this is extremely important, and one of the biggest things that unlocked aiming good for me is flick speed. How fast you flick onto somebody is an aspect of your time to kill, right? So if I'm here looking this way and this opponent is here looking that way, and I aim onto them like this and hit 3 shots, and they aim onto me like this and hit 3 shots, they're going to kill me first. Like, how long it takes for you to start aiming at the opponent is very much an aspect of how long it takes for you to kill them. One of the biggest things that somebody said that, like, after I was in like mid-level comp, struggling with my mechanics, somebody looked at one of my clips and said, "You move your reticle really slowly." And I was like, huh. And then I started trying to practice my flick speed, and it felt like my aim improved overnight. So flick speed, very, very important, and part of that DPS race. Obviously, accuracy is part of that DPS race, right? So if I hit 3 shots straight away, and my opponent, like we're in a pro ditto, I hit 3 shots straight away, they miss their first shot, and then they're gonna hit the next 3 shots. I'm just gonna kill them before they can kill me. That's why blasters are actually quite mechanically, maybe not mechanically intensive, but maybe it would be fair to call them mechanically intensive. Blasters do have to aim, and people who say otherwise are stupid. Because the difference between a blaster directing you and 2-shotting you is massive time-wise. It is a significant increase in their time to kill if they direct you. And so, like, that's part of it, right? I can run at a blaster, and if they direct me, I die, and if they don't direct me, I kill them before they get a second shot. A big part of the DPS race. Another part is reaction speed, and this kind of goes back to flick speed. Like, how long does it take you to actually start shooting at the person? Like, if it takes me 20 frames to realize that they're there, that I'm going to kill them a little bit slower than if it took me 15 frames to realize I was there. I haven't studied reaction speed much and like the neuroscience behind it, but for my very intuitive understanding, like if you're expecting something, you can react to it faster, right? So like if I'm ready for a roller to pop out and start shooting at me, I'm going to react to it quicker than if I'm not expecting it. And so that is an element where I'm sure just like naturally as a person, having a higher base reaction speed is going to help you, but also having good game understanding and knowing what's going to happen and what you're going to potentially need to react to. Having that pattern recognition is going to help you a little bit in the DPS race. So all of these things are elements, and like obviously it gets like very complex, and like you can think of like if I start moving after I start shooting, like I'm decreasing the time it'll take for me to kill them because I'm like not shooting at them, but I'm like potentially healing, which will like increase the time it takes for them to kill me. And I'm like throwing their aim off, so they'll have to like react to my movement and then refocus their aim on me, and like that'll potentially increase the time it takes for them to kill me. Like I think everything, all of the complexities about fights, and there are lots of complexities about fights, can be viewed in the abstract framework of trying to kill the other person before they kill you. And I talk about all of that in the context, going back to how aim is very important for positioning, because positioning and aim are two aspects of that DPS race. I can't quite think of a good example. Let's say I was on Jet Squelcher, and so I outrange Bucket, and so if like that's a Bucket and I'm right here, like if they pop out and start shooting at me, I'm gonna see that they're there and I can start shooting them. I have like plenty of time to react. So I don't need my aim to be that good because I have all of this time to react. If I'm like right here, I'm in their range, in theory I can kill them before they can kill me, even if we start shooting at near the same time. But that's going to require very good accuracy and like reaction speed and a fast flick speed in order to do. So if I have that reaction speed and flick speed and accuracy, it is 100% safe for me to stand here with a Bucket there. Like they will just never, unless I make a mistake, they'll never kill me before I kill them. Obviously like latency, and usually a Bucket is going to be able to get 2 shots out, especially if you like factor in that reaction speed. But you know, like there are a lot of situations like that where like you can 100% safely stand somewhere if you are able to have some level of accuracy, and if you don't have that level of accuracy, then you need to be further back in order to stay safe. Like aim keeps you safe. Your ability to kill people pushing you keeps you safe. And so the worse your aim is, the less flexible you will be with your positioning. Like the less space you'll be able to take. And then the more, you know, the better your aim is, the more you'll be able to like push up and take aggressive positions, and be totally fine in taking them. So aim is really important in like as it relates to positioning. And the way, like I talked about earlier, with like the game is too fast to think. You just have to follow your instincts and trust that they are the correct ones. Part of that means like that applies to positioning. I can't just think. I can't look at a situation and be like, oh, I see that the enemies are positioned like this, so I'm probably safe to stand here. I mean, I am like doing that, but I'm doing that subconsciously, right? I just need to, like, my brain takes in the information, and then I think to myself, like, I don't think to myself anything. I just take in the information, and then, like, the patterns click in my brain, and then I do whatever my instincts, my muscle memory, my pattern recognition tells me to do. I learn, like, my instincts and pattern recognition are built off of my aim. Like my normal amounts of aim. My like standard level of aim, whatever. So when I'm rusty, when my aim is worse, I end up taking positions that my instincts tell me are perfectly fine, safe positions to take, but are in fact not, given the current state of my aim. Like that, for example. Maybe that wasn't the best example, but like, I will go for plays that are quite safe and consistent given that my aim is good. Given that my aim is at a level I am used to my aim being, that I think I can reasonably expect my aim to be at. But then I will die because my aim is rusty. I'm a little bit off. I'm a little bit slow to flick. I'm a little bit inaccurate with my flicks. I'm a little bit slow to recognize where enemies are positioning and like how they're trying to move. My aim's just off. And my aim being off means that my positioning is off, not necessarily in the sense that I'm taking bad positions, but that I'm taking positions that are bad for me at my current level of performance. And that's tough. It makes Rust just feel really bad. Like I said, thinking is too slow. And so it's all muscle memory and pattern recognition. And it feels bad when you... So that's a situation where I always kill the machine, even if they direct me and like have perfect aim, if I have perfect aim. So I can stand there and like go for that play if my aim is on, but then I just whiffed, and so I died for it. It was maybe a bad play because of the other enemies around them, but you know, like in theory, if it's just that isolated fight, then that's an example of that. It just feels bad to go for plays that your pattern recognition and muscle memory expect to be good, and your brain is like expecting for something good to happen, and then you just watch your reticle not be on the opponents, and you just like watch yourself whiff, and then you die. It just feels bad. And so Rust like hits me particularly hard. And part of what I love about Splatoon is the like fast-paced dynamic beauty of it. And so when I'm not able to perform at that fast-paced dynamic level, and like I'm a little bit clunky and not able to do the things I know I can do that I expect myself to be able to do, it's just less fun. And that makes it hard to de-rust, because in order to de-rust, you're gonna need to play a lot, right? Like the cure to not having played in a while is to play. And so, like, a while back I took a 2-month break from Splatoon. That's when I started picking up Pro, and like I was so rusty, and also I was picking up a new weapon, so all the patterns were different, and so I just had such a miserable time playing the game. But I knew that I would never not have a miserable time unless I just played and like pushed through it, and so I did push through it. And now I do, or not right now, because I'm still a titch rusty. But right now in this period of my life, I do enjoy the game quite a bit. I was able to push through the rust. So yeah, those are some of my thoughts as I played the game for the first time in a week. If you enjoyed this format of video, please let me know. I think that a lot of the videos I want to make take a little bit too much executive functioning for what I have in me right now. As I'm sure you all have noticed with the lack of videos. But I think the style of things where I just kind of ramble about concepts while I play is a very easy thing for me to do in a way to get some of the ideas I have out into the world. So if you like this, please let me know. I don't care if you like or subscribe. I'm not really in this for those numbers. I just want to get my ideas out there. But I would appreciate a comment, because I don't know, that stuff makes me really, really happy. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.